Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news, all right. Browns fans, buckle up because today we have some explosive news that could shake up not only the AFC North, but the entire landscape of the NFL as we head into the new season. Now, if you've been paying attention, you know that the Browns have been quietly building something special over the past few years. From the hiring of key coaches to drafting some promising young talent, Cleveland has been laying the groundwork for a serious playoff push. But what's really catching fire right now is the possibility of a blockbuster trade that could reshape the division and set the Browns on a new trajectory towards Super Bowl glory. And no, I'm not talking about just another rumor. This is something that's gaining traction among NFL insiders and analysts. The Browns are reportedly interested in making a move involving the Green Bay Packers, and it's not just a minor swap. This could be a game-changing trade, possibly involving a high-profile player or draft picks that could give Cleveland a much-needed boost on both sides of the ball. We're talking about a move that could address some of the team's biggest needs, whether it's strengthening the offensive line, adding a dynamic playmaker, or bolstering the defense with a proven veteran. Now let's step back a little and look at the context. The Browns, as you all know, have been knocking on the door for a while now. They've shown flashes of brilliance, especially with their young core of players like quarterback Deshaun Watson, who, despite some ups and downs, has the talent and experience to lead a team deep into the playoffs. The offensive line has improved significantly, and the defense, while solid, is hungry for that one extra piece to push them over the edge. Cleveland fans have been waiting for that breakout season, the one where everything clicks and the Browns finally live up to their potential. But the challenge has always been consistency. The NFL is a league of inches, and the difference between a playoff team and an early exit often comes down to key personnel and strategic moves. That's why this potential trade with the Packers is so intriguing. The Packers, as many of you know, have been in a bit of a transitional phase after trading away Aaron Rodgers and focusing on rebuilding around their young talent. So they might be open to making a deal that accelerates their rebuild while giving Cleveland exactly what it needs to take that next step. One of the players that's been speculated about in these trade rumors is a talented wide receiver or perhaps an experienced linebacker or defensive back. The Browns, with their offensive weapons, could really use a guy who can create separation, make contested catches, and be a reliable target for Watson. On the defensive side, Cleveland has some promising young players, but adding a veteran presence with playoff experience could be exactly what the team needs to tighten up that secondary or linebacker core. And it's not just about adding talent, it's about strategic moves that fit the team's philosophy. Cleveland's coaching staff has been emphasizing a balanced attack, aggressive defense, and smart play calling. A trade with the Packers could bring in a player who embodies those qualities and helps elevate the entire team. Plus, with the NFL's salary cap and draft strategies, Cleveland's front office is known for being shrewd and creative, so don't be surprised if they pull off a deal that surprises everyone. Now, what about the impact of this potential move? Well, if Cleveland manages to land a key player from Green Bay, it could send ripples across the AFC North. The Bengals and Ravens are formidable opponents, no doubt, but Cleveland's talent pool could step up significantly. Imagine Watson with an elite receiver or a dynamic running back. Suddenly, the Browns become a serious threat in the AFC playoff picture. The division race could heat up even more, with Cleveland suddenly emerging as a favorite rather than a dark horse. But it's also worth mentioning that these kinds of rumors shouldn't be taken lightly. NFL trades are complex, involve a lot of moving parts, and often take time to materialize. Cleveland's front office will have to weigh the value of their assets, the long-term implications, and how quickly the new player can integrate into the team. Nonetheless, the fact that these discussions are happening shows that the Browns are not content to sit still. They're looking to make bold moves that can accelerate their championship window. And speaking of championship windows, Browns fans, it's important to remember that this franchise has a rich history filled with ups and downs. From the days of Bernie Kosar and the late 80s heartbreaks to the recent resurgence under different coaching regimes, Cleveland's passion for football is unmatched. The city has been waiting for that one breakthrough season, and with each offseason, hope grows stronger. The team's front office knows this, and they're clearly trying to capitalize on the current momentum by making aggressive, strategic moves. Now, I want to touch a little on the players who are potentially involved. If Cleveland does make a trade with Green Bay, it might involve a combination of draft picks and either a player or a package of players. The Packers, after trading away Rodgers, are in a rebuild mode, so they could be looking for draft capital or young prospects that can help accelerate their process. Cleveland, on the other hand, might be willing to part with some of their future picks if it means landing a proven veteran or a young star who can contribute immediately. What does this mean for the Browns' current roster? Well, it could be a catalyst for a big leap forward. If they add a player with playoff experience, leadership qualities, and elite talent, it can elevate not just the starting lineup but also the overall confidence of the team. Young players like Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, and others can thrive even more when surrounded by proven winners. The chemistry and morale of the team could get a serious boost, and that's exactly what you want heading into the critical months of training camp and preseason. And let's not forget that Cleveland has been building a strong culture under head coach Kevin Stefanski. The team's focus on disciplined play, physicality, and smart football has been paying dividends. This potential trade could be the final piece to turn that culture into a true contender. The Browns have been knocking on the door for a while now, and with the right additions, they might finally break through that glass ceiling and make a real Super Bowl push. Looking ahead, the NFL landscape is always changing, and teams are constantly looking to outsmart their rivals. Cleveland's willingness to be aggressive in the trade market shows they're serious about maximizing their window of opportunity. Fans, I know many of you are dreaming of that first Super Bowl in decades, and honestly, with moves like this, it's not out of the realm of possibility. The Browns are aligning their roster and their strategy to compete at the highest level, and that's what makes following this team so exciting right now. We've seen flashes of brilliance and moments of frustration, but the core of this team, along with a few strategic acquisitions, can take Cleveland to places they haven't been in a long time. The AFC North is one of the toughest divisions in football, but it's also one of the most exciting. The Ravens have Lamar Jackson and a ferocious defense, the Bengals have Joe Burrow and a high-powered offense, and now if Cleveland pulls off this trade, the division could be even more competitive. That's the kind of football fans love to watch: high stakes, intense rivalries, and a division race that could come down to the wire. And of course, Browns fans, the hope is always that your team is the one making those bold moves, setting the tone for the season. The front office's willingness to trade, to invest in talent, and to take risks is what keeps fans optimistic. Cleveland has a passionate fan base that never gives up, that always believes in their team no matter the odds. That's the true spirit of Browns Nation: resilience, hope, and a relentless desire to see your team succeed. As we wrap up this discussion, I want to remind you all that NFL offseason news is always full of surprises. The trade rumors are just that, rumors, but they also reflect a mindset of a team that's hungry, ambitious, and ready to do whatever it takes to compete for a championship. Cleveland's front office has shown they're not afraid to make bold moves, and this potential trade with Green Bay could be the catalyst for a new era of Browns football. So Browns fans, keep your eyes peeled and your hopes high. The season is right around the corner, and with each passing day, things are shaping up to be incredibly exciting. Whether this trade happens or not, one thing is certain: Cleveland is on the rise and the best is yet to come. The city's passionate fans deserve it, and the team's players are working tirelessly behind the scenes to make it happen. We're all in this together, dreaming of that Lombardi trophy, and I truly believe that with the right moves, that dream can become a reality sooner than we think. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now, as we look to the future, it's worth mentioning that Cleveland's roster is already pretty solid, but it's those key additions that can turn a good team into a great one. Imagine a scenario where the Browns land a player who can immediately step in and make an impact. Someone like a versatile receiver who can stretch the field, or a veteran linebacker who can anchor the defense in crunch time. That's the kind of boost that can transform Cleveland from playoff hopefuls into serious contenders. The coaching staff, led by Stefanski, has been emphasizing smart football, disciplined execution, and a balanced attack. They want to see the team play fast, play physical, and play with confidence. This trade could give them the extra piece they need to unlock even more potential from their roster. It's all about that chemistry, that rhythm, and the confidence to go toe-to-toe with the best. Remember, the Browns have a core of talented young players who are hungry to prove themselves, and with the right veteran presence, that hunger can turn into championship hunger. You might be wondering what's next. Well, the NFL offseason is a whirlwind of activity. Free agency, draft prospects, and trades are all part of the puzzle. Cleveland's front office is known for its shrewd decision-making, and if they believe this trade makes sense for the long-term success of the franchise, they'll go all in. That's what makes following this team so thrilling right now. Every move, every rumor, every potential signing could be the one that changes everything. And for those of you who love stats and numbers, it's worth noting that Cleveland's offensive and defensive metrics have been steadily improving. Their quarterback, Deshaun Watson, has shown flashes of brilliance, and with a few more weapons, he could be the guy to finally unlock that potential. The Browns' defense has been tough, especially with players like Myles Garrett leading the charge, but adding a complementary piece could make that unit even more formidable. The AFC North is a division where every game matters and rivalries are fierce. Browns fans know this all too well. Whether it's the Ravens' relentless defense and running game, the Bengals' explosive offense, or the Steelers' gritty, physical style, Cleveland has to be at its best to compete. That's why a strategic trade, especially one involving a team like Green Bay, could be the difference maker in building a team capable of not just reaching the playoffs, but making a real Super Bowl run. Looking even further ahead, the NFL landscape is always evolving. Teams that are willing to adapt, to be aggressive, and to take calculated risks tend to find success. Cleveland is clearly in that mindset now. They're not just waiting for things to happen, they're actively shaping their destiny. The fan base's patience, passion, and unwavering support play a huge role in this journey. It's a cycle of hope and action, and right now, everything points to an exciting future for Browns Nation. As we approach the offseason, it's worth reflecting on what the Browns have accomplished so far and what still lies ahead. They've built a foundation, identified their needs, and are now looking to fill those gaps with strategic moves. This potential trade with the Packers could be the key piece that finally unlocks that elusive championship window. Whether it's a star receiver, a shutdown corner, or a veteran leader in the locker room, Cleveland's front office is clearly looking to make a statement. And let's be honest, Cleveland fans are some of the most passionate in the league. The city's love for football runs deep, and they've endured their share of heartbreaks. But that resilience, that unwavering belief, is what makes Browns Nation so special. Every offseason brings new hope, and this year that hope could turn into reality with just one or two bold moves. The team's young core, combined with experienced leaders and strategic acquisitions, could finally put Cleveland back on the map as a true Super Bowl contender. So as we wrap up, remember that this story is still unfolding. The trade rumors are swirling, the offseason is just beginning, and the Browns are positioning themselves for greatness. The excitement is tangible, and I can tell you, Browns fans, that this is just the beginning of what promises to be an incredible journey. Keep your eyes on the team, stay hopeful, and get ready for a season full of surprises. The Browns are on the rise, and I genuinely believe this year might be the one where everything clicks. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think it's the move that finally takes Cleveland over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, go Browns.